guys, it's Gus. Today we're going to be going over a few things on what I did to adjust my suspension and camber and stuff like that. Um, the first time I tried to do a speed run, it was kind of a handful. That one I didn't even video or I didn't upload. And then I actually went through and changed a few things. The first thing I did was to change the shock location. You see here I got these shocks on all four corners. I moved all the way down to the bottom, and that was like a night and day difference right there. And the reason I actually did that was both for handling and also because these arms are so flexible that if you land upside down really hard, it will pop that dog bone out. So after I did that, I have not had a dog bone pop out at all. It's been real good. I know it's not a common issue. I haven't seen anybody else having that issue, but it definitely happened to me a couple times. The other thing I did was my shocks. When I got it, they were all cranked down probably around in here, both front and back. I actually lowered it to probably about a 1/8 inch gap in here in the back front. And then in the back, I went with, I don't know, what is that, a quarter, maybe 3/8, 5/16, something like that on the back. And then what that does, if you can see here, my arms are almost straight across now. And another reason I did that is I did break off one of these. And what it is when it gets hit on the side of the tire like that, if your arms are bent, instead of just pushing in, it actually tries to fold that in half. So the straighter you can get this, the more durable it's going to be. It was a really bad crash. My son did it. It was from like, holy cow, at least 20 feet in the air, and it was actually the back one, but he landed completely sideways, like this, right on the tire, and it snapped it off. So yeah, that's the two reasons why I did that for, well, actually 3 reasons. To take the stress off of these, stop my dog bones from coming out on upside down flips, and then of course to lower it down a little bit to make it handle better. I know most of you guys are probably already know this stuff, but I had a couple guys who were interested in knowing what I did, and they're newer to the hobby, so they wanted some advice on how to set their stuff up. The other thing I did was I set my toe in. It was actually toed in when I got it, which I don't like. I prefer a little toe out. And what I did is I just measured between here with a tape measure, and I set the front about 3 millimeters wider than the back. Or maybe it was 4. No, 3 millimeters, yep. 3 millimeters wider in the front. I like that because they steer better. If you're doing speed runs, you want to go the other way because toe in actually isn't quite as touchy. But as far as for bashing and tight quarters and stuff like that, this definitely is the way to go. At least I think so anyway. And then the other thing they wanted to know was how to, like mine, when I first got it, one tire was tipped in. This tire was actually tipped out, and that's pretty easy. What I did is I just took my speed square, or just a square, and set it up on the tire, and then I adjusted my turnbuckles until that was flat. Did the same front and rear, and it made a big difference. And that's pretty common. Most of the time they just kind of put them together, and you have to tune them. If you're used to like a lot of the Traxxas, they're not even adjustable. You probably won't get what I'm talking about, but if you ever run anything that's adjustable, they never come perfect right out of the box. And then of course the other thing I did cover in the last one, I just adjusted the servo saber because it was way too tight. If you look there, all you have to do is just, with mine, I just turned it all the way up until it stopped, and then backed it off a half a turn. And now it works real good. And yeah, that's all I got for this one. This video was pretty much just to explain to the few guys I've been talking to how to set their rig up and how to get it to handle better. A lot of people, they won't even know the difference, but me, I'm kind of picky. I like my stuff set up just right, and that's how I do it. If you are interested in anything like this, let me know so I can keep doing more videos like this. Otherwise, if you're not, let me know and I won't do them anymore. But for me, that's one of the reasons I like this truck, is because you can adjust it. Like, some people might want to use it for going down a highway or, you know, speed runs and stuff, and then you can tune it differently. I know one other thing I like to do also, I have them coming, but I'm going to get rid of this mess, and I'm going to, it's too much wire. When you get this much wire, it causes extra strain on your batteries. The wires get hot, plus these are only rated for like 50 amps, so it's too much draw for a Dean. So I'm going to change those out, because when I was doing speed runs, I felt these and they were hot. So I'm going to be putting a single XT90 connector on there, and then just running my single 6S and my single 4S instead of running two batteries in there. I was hoping running two would be enough, but on something like this, you need something better than a Dean's connector on there. Alright, that's all I got for you guys today. If you haven't, subscribe. If you like what you see, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to watch more of my videos, make sure you hit the bell button so you get notified next time I upload one. Alright, thanks guys.